494 to headquarters. I'll be 10-7. I'll be officially retired. I want to thank the men and women of this department. Nah, I'm just joking. Suck my balls, every single one of you. I'm officially retired. I've been waiting to say this for the past 20 years of my career. From the mayor, the council, the captain, the chief, the lieutenants, all of you lick my ass. I cannot wait to walk out of this car. I was forced to do this because my wife wants to take pictures. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. You got your pictures? Anyway, all of you lick my ass. There was like 4 of you that I actually enjoyed working with. To the rookies, get the fuck out of this department. Leave now. It doesn't get any better. Everybody else, off. All of you. I'm out. Peace. Mic drop.
What's up, everybody? Vendetta Blue is back, and I'm here today with Bolice12.
Yes, sir.
Instagram. Let me tell you guys something. I don't do this often anymore, but when I seen this guy's video, I was like, something always pulls me back in.
But seriously, all of you, lick my balls. I can't stand any of you. Thank God I'm retiring. You guys should never even came. My wife forced me. So all I have to say to all of you is this right here. Right here. Just enjoy this, okay? Because you're never going to see me again. Every single one of you. That's all I got to say.
I also want to say hi to all the assholes watching me right now, hating on me on the 12th, 13th, and 14th floor in West Plaza. Cowards, as usual.
When I seen Kevin Cruz on Finest Unfiltered, the greatest show in police law enforcement podcasting, I'll always give them their credit. I had to interview him, and I have to interview this guy. Bolice12, Islam.
Let's do it.
Let's hear a little about you.
So my name is Islam. I go by the nickname of Bolice. Parents, you know, they immigrants, so they the way they said it was always with the accent of Bolice, so that's why I named myself that. I'm a retired sergeant from a small town in New Jersey. I was on the job for 13 years. Unfortunately, had to retire due to a traumatic incident. And then I've been in contact for like the past 5-6 years. So for me, this is just another day in the office. You know, it's a better office than sitting in that patrol car. That's for damn fucking sure. So yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. And you know, anybody that's watching this, if you're still on the job, get the fuck out as soon as you can. Stop staying for money. It's that simple.
Absolutely. That's what I've been saying. You know, and it's when I watch your videos, it's funny, and you're not only funny, you're saying truth. You know, you're telling the people what they're going through. And what I like about that is you're humanizing people. You're helping them see. Because when I was active, I used to be like, there's no way it's just me. Like, you know, I know I'm a little. You know, there's no way that I'm the only one that feels that way. You know, 100%. And I think that's why people like your videos. I think that's why people still follow me. And you know, even as I take a little step back, and I like to pass on the torch to the younger guys. And even though I'm only about 7 years older than you, retired for a year and a half, you know, enjoying life. As you will see, you know, it's retirement is great, but it also gives us the opportunity to help those that are active and just, you know, push the message of the things that we've seen and people they really can't talk about. And you know, that's why I love doing this. Again, like I said, you know, in retirement, I face a lot of personal and professional challenges that most people, you know, they're not even aware of. But in my opinion, I expected everything that happened to me in retirement. I knew it was coming. You know, certain things, certain chess pieces went a different way, but I ultimately predicted it, kind of passing the torch, like I said, to guys like you. For fresh and exciting, and you know, you continue the revelation and the truth of policing ultimately.
And I want to touch back on what you said. I'm speaking the truth, right? So it's not about the reason why I started making my videos is the things that I've seen, and it's not just like, you know, my own experiences, it's other guys' experiences. It's guys that work in different departments. It's guys that are working in political departments, because, you know, a lot of people don't really realize that. I can say it's for people who aren't law enforcement. When you're working in a small town, or if you're working in a sheriff's department, right, something like that, it's so political, and politics will ruin your life. And I always said, if you're going to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. So if you're going to play politics, you better play it all the way. If you don't play the politics and then now you want to get out, good luck. So the politics is the biggest thing. That's why I started making these videos, because I wanted other cops from all around the country to know you are not alone. This is happening in every department. Now, the question is, how do you stop it? How do you cut the head off the snake?
Yes.
How hard is that, right? Because it's all politics at the end of the day. Starts from the mayors, the governors, the politicians, those bosses. That's where it starts from. Then it trickles down to certain guys in your police department. But then how do you expect a good department? How do you expect guys to want to be proactive? If you got a guy that comes in 3 years on the job and he's getting promoted to sergeant like this over a guy that's got 15 years on the job, what do you think it's going to do to the rest of your department?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when the new guy gets hired, comes in, and they say, wait, my sergeant has 3 years on the job? You're telling me I can make sergeant in 3 years? Fuck yeah, what do I got to do? Yeah. Oh, I gotta blow the mayor and drop off some checks to his office and go to his dinners?
Right.
Sign me the fuck up. These guys don't even know the job yet. But you know what? Let me go take that route. Can I blame them? I can't, because they see an easy path. It's a young kid seeing an easy path to more money. He's not thinking of the long-term effects of it. He's not thinking of, oh, hey, I got to be a supervisor. It's a lot of fucking reliability on my end. Right. And if somebody fucks up, I'm fucked. They don't think of that. They're just thinking money, thinking dollar signs. So that's the main reason why I started making these videos, is just to let other guys know you're not alone, bro. It happens all over the country. It's not just your department, I promise.
That's definitely something that I appreciate, definitely, to know that it's not just you in New York. It's it's probably the whole country, and we definitely in New York went through 4 years of an administration, the Eric Adams, his people, and in that time, the last few years, there have been the Finest Unfiltered show. They literally predict everything
that's about to happen.
Everything that happens, and then it happens. And there's been so many other content creators. You'll see now that you're doing this, we just start saying things. I even made like some fake promotional lists of people that I think should get promoted, because they skip right over
every time
people that have 10 years of experience. And most of the detectives that I'll get in second grade and first grade, they never had a case. They never sat with a criminal in an interview room.
Never interviewed somebody.
Wow. How is that possible? I was a detective for about 10 years. I was in the detective squad. I did multiple assignments as a detective. And there's so many people that, even more than me. One of the guys that I worked with, I'm not going to mention his name, even more time than me, great at his job, not even considered. When he retired, they told him, yeah, you were 4 names away, which was all bullshit.
Of course.
You had 14 years to promote him, and now when he leaves, you're not
part of the good boy squad. That's why. That's how it goes. Right.
So, I've made promotional lists, and some of the people that I've actually put on there, they did get promoted, and I thanked, the NYPD for doing that. I know they'll never give me the credit saying that. But, just hopefully I was able to shed some light to their names, or some people that were, had an interest in who gets promoted.
Yeah, of course.
In my particular unit, we went 15 years. We only had one promotion, which was a political promotion, and there was a lot of plagiarism in paperwork, and I kind of told you about it off air. Yeah. Something that would probably piss you off, right?
Oh, I've seen it. Believe me. I'll show. We found the list. That's funny. I'll tell you this. I remember we found the list. Me and a couple of guys. This is before I became sergeant, because I was only a sergeant for 1 year before I had to retire. But we found the list. Me and a couple of guys. Now, mind you, I know politics. My dad was a politician. My dad was a councilman for 13 years. I grew up in politics as a kid, so I knew the backdoor deals that were happening, the backdoor meetings they would have at guys' houses. I've seen politicians walk into my dad's house and have little pre-agenda meetings and heard what they were talking about. But at the time, I was too young. I didn't understand it. To me, I was like, what the fuck are these guys in like suits doing at my dad's house? Like, what the fuck's going on? But like not realizing that when I became a cop, I said, holy shit. I remember the stuff that they were talking about now. Fucking makes sense, right? So, I remember we found a website where you can see, because guys didn't know this at the time, but then they smartened up a little bit. Guys that would donate checks to the politicians, you would see their name on this website because it's all public. So you'd see Tom Johnson, just throwing out a random name, right? John Doe. John Doe donated $4,000. You go to John Doe's department, he's a fucking lieutenant.
Wow.
Ashley Smith, you go, she's donated $1,500. What's Ashley Smith doing? She's got 2 years on the job. She's working SRO in the school, comfortable Monday through Friday job. She's got no experience on the road yet. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah, you got these guys that have got 10, 15 years on the job, almost close to retirement. Throw that guy into school.
Right.
Let that guy go be an SRO. Let him relax for a couple years.
Right.
The guy that's had over fucking God knows how many arrests. Why is he not promoted? Why is he not a sergeant? Why? Because he's not the mayor's puppet. Mm-hmm. And if the mayor don't like you, there's an X on your back. When you get that X on your back and the mayor he has no use for you anymore, you're done. You'll never get promoted. Never. My old partner that I had a couple years ago.
Before you go, the funny thing is, the mayor loved me. He gave me a nice award. I didn't give him no money though.
No, but NYPD is different. You guys are so big, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking small departments. We're talking these little tiny towns. This is how this shit happens. So it's like I had a partner of mine a couple years ago. The guy had 23 years on a job. Probably one of the smartest cops I've ever met. Taught me everything. Cop. Never would fuck you. Always had your back. Stood up to the bullshit politics. Never played politics. They promoted him with 23 years on the job. 23 and a half years. They're like, all right, here's a little, here you go. Yeah. That guy should have been a fucking captain by us.
Yeah.
You know, that guy would have made your department better. Yet they had another guy whose family's donating money and this and that, and he's donating money. And guess what? That guy becomes chief.
Oh my God.
The guy can't even type on a fucking computer. The guy's a dinosaur. Like, bro, what are we doing here? That's New Jersey cops. I'm telling you. And anybody that watches this, if you're from New Jersey, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Nice. And we had we call it pay to play scandal. That's what it was in New York. Supposedly detectives were shelling out money to get promoted.
Of course.
In the long run, the extra overtime, it's definitely worth it. If you got to pay $15,000, I don't know what the number was, 8,500, I forget. But whatever it was, you're gonna make it back. You're gonna stay longer. You're gonna the longevity.
It's a reinvestment. It's a reinvestment,
right?
It's a reinvestment.
I wish they would have came to me. I would have shelled out the money.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, if you tell me you want 10K, no problem. My raise is gonna be 10K. Yeah. Here you go. Here's the 10K. I'm gonna get it back.
I didn't shell out the money. I just shelled out all my cases, my accomplishments. Apparently, my writing helped other people get promoted.
Wait. You tell me you did your job and you were good at it, but you didn't get rewarded for it? Wow.
I was the best at it.
What a shocker. What a shocker. Oh, so you were valuable to the
valuable, right.
Why
and they all loved me.
Promoted? Why would you get promoted? Are you kidding me? You can't be valuable to the department and get promoted. It's not how it works.
Absolutely. I was the best friend. They all loved me until the tides changed.
Yeah, they love you. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Right. So, you're familiar with that. And, it's funny because looking at faces all day long, I still do it. I'm still very involved. And you kind of get to know the person sometimes. Like, I knew when I seen your videos, I was like, this guy, T, for my whole partner, if he's watching, T, man, this guy's just like you. I could already tell the personality similarities. It's not because you're both Middle Eastern. I could just tell, he's got good values. His head's in the right place. And it was the same thing with Kevin Cruz and, the other guys. It's just the right guys are always on the wrong end. Like you said, live or die by the sword. We're always on the wrong end for some reason.
Always. It never fails. And that's because we're easy targets, Yeah. That's why.
How's the promotion work in your department? Like just to make sergeant, how'd you go about that?
I'm going to tell you right now. Ready? You get the chief puts out a little memo up in the front sergeant's desk, right? Because we only had 2 rooms in my entire department. I work in a very small department.
20 people, right?
Something like 20 cops, yeah. Okay. But like half of my career, we had 16. So it was it's 1 sergeant, 2 officers. That's it. That's your squad. And 90% of the time somebody's off. So it's really just you and 1 guy working the entire time. But anyway, so chief puts out a memo. Well, actually the mayor tells the chief, because the mayor is the real boss of a small town police department. It's not the chief. The chief is just a little puppet.
Yep.
Memo comes out. If you're interested, submit your resume by this date. Okay, cool. Make your resume, whatever, add in whatever bullshit new trainings that you went to the academy for because you want to make your resume look better. Submit it. Once it gets submitted, They usually do it by seniority. So like whoever has the most years on will go first, and then everybody comes in on the same day for your promotion. So you come in, first interview, let's say it's 5 o'clock. Next guy's at like 5:40. Next guy's at like 6:10. Da da da, and so on, so on. You walk into this fucking interview. There's a mayor, a council that's part of the police committee, and the other council that's part of the police committee. And then you got the chief. You sit down. Hi, sir. How are you? Pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. May I have a seat? Yeah, I can have a seat. Thank you. You better bring your copy of your resumes, because if you don't, they're going to write that down as a point. They'll take a point away from you. So you bring some copies of your resumes. They already have the fucking resume sent in front of them, but they want to see, are you prepared?
Yep.
Here's a copy of my resume. Would you guys like some? Oh, yes, we'll take it. You could see your fucking resume on the goddamn desk in front of them anyway. So you're like, all right, whatever. You give it to them. You sit. I laugh because I'm like having flashbacks from these interviews.
Sounds familiar.
Half the time, they don't even ask you questions about policing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the mayor will ask you a question, right? He'll be like, what makes you think you deserve the position?
Oh my God, my favorite question.
Right?
Do you think you could do it? Does he ask that one?
what makes you think you're better than the other guys that are applying? First of all, I'm not gonna bash the 4 guys that are interviewing with me. Why? That's such a shitty question to ask a cop that's applying for a promotion.
That's what retirement for.
Yeah, you want me to bash 4 fucking guys? Okay,
right.
So then they'll ask you questions like, what's something different you would bring to the table as a supervisor? Okay. Then you'll go to ask a question about the politics end of it, right? So it'll be like, if there's rumors being spread in the department, what would you do about it? I'm applying to be a sergeant. Yeah. Why the fuck are you asking me a question about if there's rumors being spread in the department? Right? I'm not even joking. Like, these is legit questions I got asked in my interview. Rumors. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it'll be like, how many years have you had on? This amount of years. Okay, cool. What qualities do you bring to the police department to be a sergeant? And you're sitting there, they're not giving you any scenario type questions, right? Right. But the politicians ask you the dumb questions, then the chief will ask you a couple like scenario questions, right? He'll be like, if somebody like a resident or somebody came up to you with a complaint and tells you, hey, I have a recording of your officer sleeping in a car, what would you do? Right? They'll ask you scenario stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, why are you asking me questions about fucking one of my guys?
Yeah, it seems like they're very interested in your opinion on how you're going to save the department's image, right?
Exactly.
And the scenario questions, I could live with those because they would probably eliminate half my
100%.
100%. But as far as what about is there a multiple choice test or anything?
So we don't have an actual promotional process. So it's it's interview. When the interview's done, you walk out. You get an email 2 days, 3 days later. Congratulations to the following officers for getting promoted to sergeant. That's it. That's it. That's your promotion. There's no test.
Right.
There's no nothing. It's just interview. I'm the mayor.
Yeah.
You donated money to me. John over here has never donated money to me. You have 0 arrests. You don't know how to spell your own name. You have 1 leg, an extra eyeball, and you've never worked the streets. John over here, over 1,000 arrests, the best cop in our department, smart as fucking ever. All these certificates, right? Those are your 2 applicants. I'm the mayor. All right, let's see. So, hey, council, I don't really fucking need your opinions because I'm the proper appropriate authority. I make the decisions. Yeah, we're gonna go with this guy here because I like him better. That's how you get promoted.
Right.
It's that simple. That's how a promotion happens in small town departments. There's no test.
So
it has nothing to do with your merit.
So in your opinion, when you got promoted, how did that go? As far as
I don't bullshit. I don't shit can.
Yeah.
I got promoted because the mayor liked me.
Okay.
But now when I got promoted,
yeah,
it was 4 of us applying.
Wow.
A guy that had 18 years on the job.
Mm-hmm.
I had 13. Another guy had I had 11. Another guy had 10. 2 guys had 10 years on the job. I had 11, and then the last guy had 7 years on the job. So it was 5 of us.
Yeah.
Now this is where the politics come into play. So they made 3 sergeants at that time. The guy with 18 years got the promotion, rightfully so. I got promoted. The 2 guys that had 10 years on the job did not get promoted. The guy that had 7 years on the job didn't get promoted. He applied. But then guess what? Here comes 3 more guys that interviewed. Do you want to know who these 3 guys are that interviewed? They had 3 years on the job. Do you want to know why they got interviewed for 3 years on the job? Because the mayor specifically waited till they completed 3 years to give them the opportunity to apply for a sergeant promotion. So it ended up being the guy with 18 years got promoted, I got promoted, and then the young guy with 3 years on the job got promoted. Now, why did that young guy get 3 years on the job get promoted? Because he was close to the mayor. I never had problems with the mayor. He liked me better than the other 3 that applied. That's how I got it. But my certificates were better. I had better training experience. I was very liked throughout the whole department, right? I never had trouble with anybody. I was always the white flag guy in my department.
Right.
Guys always like from like the 2 squads would always just come vent to me. So like Platoon A hated Platoon B, and Platoon B would vent to me, then Platoon A would vent to me, and I'm just like
I guess that happens everywhere.
I was always the white flag guy. Everybody loved working with me. Everybody loved talking to me. Like I never had problems with people, Awesome. And then once the politics gets involved, I got promoted. I took it. But now at the time when I got promoted, I was a SRO. Fucking loved SRO. Yeah. Monday through Friday. I did patrol for 10 years. I'm like, man, put me in a school. Let me finish my last 10 years. Get the fuck out. I was like, bro, fucking the job sucks. But I was in a school at the time for 2 years. Then I became a firearms instructor because I love firearms. I love to teach people. I love to help people. So then I got promoted. Once I got promoted, we got a new chief. When we got that new chief doesn't like me. So what do you think happened next with my firearms qualifications? I was supposed to be the range master. So what happened there? Hey, Bolice, guess what? You're not in charge of the range anymore. See ya.
Oh, man.
Guess what? You're going back on the road, too.
Oh. Get a chief. Did they tell you get a chief?
Yeah, get a chief. Yeah.
Get a chief.
Oh, that's how I got promoted. It was pretty much mayor liked me better than the other guys. That's literally all it came down to. And if you're doing it based on seniority, it was a guy with 18 years on. Then the next guy available was me with 11. And then the next guy, the 2 guys under me had 10 years. So it could have went to any one of us 3. But the funny part was a couple months later, the guy with 10 years on a job, right under me with 11 years, he got promoted.
Yeah.
And then now I'm retired. The other guy got promoted. He took my spot.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's crazy because, in a department with such, low capacity like that, it's tough. And I also wonder, and a lot of my followers are detectives.
Oh, no, sorry.
And that is all merit-based, supposedly, merit, right? And I've pushed around when I was active. I used to submit the suggestions and all that you should be promoted on a panel. You should have to interview for it like you did, But I also, I wonder too, especially like how your interview went. I could bring you all my qualifications. I could be so much better than everybody else. But if you don't like me, what's that going to do anyway?
Doesn't mean dick.
So there's got to be a way to, to kind of maybe technology's got to be implemented. Maybe, You know
what it is, though? Even in like bigger departments, like from experiences I've heard from other officers that work in different towns, even in bigger departments, like let's say a sheriff's department,
right?
It's civil service. So you have to take a test, right? Based on what your score is, you get put on the list, and then that guy gets promoted. But I've heard it doesn't really matter sometimes, even with civil service, where they've skipped over certain guys that weren't the politics, not showing up to sheriff's dinners and, not donating to the sheriff and his camp, his whatever. Like I've heard a lot of stories about that too. So civil service, and then there's a lot of lawsuits that come with that.
Right. Yeah. Every year there's always
they get skipped and somebody sues. So
Yeah, I
It
mean,
always sucks.
the multiple choice test for a department with 35,000, employees, and it's the problem. The problem that most offices have with it is the questions. They're ridiculous. Like, what is knowing that a firearm has tritium nitrites going to help? In the field, that's not going to help you in a dangerous situation. You're not going to be thinking, oh, tritium nitrites, or my chevrons have to be a certain distance from my own. Like, and that's what always discouraged me, because I did try a couple times. I was like, you got to read this giant book.
Yeah,
and it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
The patrol guide. I don't know how yours was, but it's literally it's
well, like fucking book, brother. We ain't got no book. It's just an interview. There's no book.
Right? You know what I mean?
No book.
So you got to memorize this whole entire book, and they can ask you the fine print. And every time I was like, you know what? I'm just taking this test for the day off, and that's it, because that's the best you're gonna get out of it.
But you know what the problem is though with that, like in a big department, right?
Right.
You got 35,000 guys applying, and they're taking a multiple choice test. Here's my take on that. This is just my opinion. You could be the greatest test taker in the fucking world, best report writer in the world. You get onto the street and you're a fucking duck. Right? Now the guy that sucks at my whole career, I was terrible at report writing. I wasn't the best. I was okay. I was decent. I was not good at report writing. Put me onto the street, I'll fucking de-escalate something like this. I was good at talking to people. I had a very good personality. I was able to relate to people. I was a street guy. I was never good at test taking. I was never good at report writing. It wasn't my thing. But when I became a supervisor, I have to say, I still had to sharpen those skills up more and more, because now I'm reading over other guys' reports. But I always used to say, I don't give a shit if you don't know how to write a report. I want to know you know what the fuck you're doing on the street. Right. Can I trust you to have my back? If, God forbid, I get into a fight or somebody punches me in the fucking face?
Yeah.
Can I trust that you're going to run after a guy when I'm chasing somebody? Can I trust that you're going to call out the right streets and be able to, let dispatch know where the fuck we are? Fuck your report writing at that point. It's our lives at that point. I need to know you know what you're fucking doing. So the testing, I'm always like this on it when it comes to promotions, because you could suck at it and still get promoted.
There's a million stories I could tell you. One that always sticks out. You'll laugh about it. Years ago, when I was on patrol doing anti-crime, there was these two officers, and a female officer and a male officer who knew what he was doing, but he was dependent on her to help out. And for those in the 7A, they might be able to remember this and figure out who I'm talking about. But something happened where they're literally chasing this guy around the car, like they're running in circles.
Okay.
And she refused to get out the car. She was very religious. She started praying in the car, and the cop is like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, I need your help out here."
Oh, okay.
I guess the situation got taken care of. They were able to apprehend them. Long story short, she ends up getting promoted later on to sergeant. And from what I'm
guys
told,
for your time, I appreciate this interview. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe on the job. I'm out of here.
That's just one out of 35,000, right?
I believe it.
So sure enough, she ends up getting promoted. She probably sucked on patrol, and from what I was told, they gave her an inside position. So you're rewarded for your
reward for bad behavior.
Right.
It's always like that. Always. You can be the shittiest cop in the street and not know what the fuck you're doing, but just because the mayor likes you, promotion. You're getting it. It's that simple.
And I've seen it a lot, because a lot of those guys were all connections. And you do something great, they take the credit for it. There's a lot of people that boosted that, I'm improving morale, I'm doing this. Listen, man, just because you buy your friend a lunch one day doesn't mean you're boosting morale for everyone. You're helping your friend out, right?
There is no morale anymore.
Right. There's no more morale. But a lot of people are great salesmen. They're terrible cops, but they're great at talking to other people and living off of other people's
100%
accomplishments. And they're great at networking.
The credit thieves.
Yeah,
they're credit thieves. That's what we call them.
They don't know shit, but it is what it is. Especially in retirement, the last thing I want to do is work for somebody that, I got to continue to play that role.
You've had it for how many years now? You've had somebody standing over your shoulder the entire fucking time of your career. You got to constantly look back for what? And guys don't realize that shit fucks you up later on in life, because you work for a shitty boss or a couple bosses. Now you go out into the streets and you're like, is he going to be there? Am I doing the right thing? You start questioning yourself. Like, I'm freshly retired, so for me, I'm like still learning to like get back to the norm. And you know, it's definitely weird, you know, but at the same time, it's refreshing because it's like, you know,
my first month, man, I was still high off of the things that had happened recently, and you know, I walked out the way I wanted to walk out. It was great. And then as time goes on, you start looking around. You're like, the show's still going on, but I'm not in the show anymore. And that, not that I miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. But it felt kind of weird. And then you go through a few different like personality changes, and you're getting back to being who you used to be. And that was always my goal. I used to say all the time, my last year, I'm going to do everything that I did in 2004. You know, prior to the year I started. You know, I want to be the original Mike.
You want to be who you are, of course.
Well, let me tell you something about that. I got back to being who I was real quick. The problem is the world is not 2004 anymore.
It's a different world.
So that was a huge adjustment for me because now here I am. I feel great, but this ain't the same world. You know?
We live in
I can't say the things I want to say. I can't do the things I used to do, and it's tough. And it's you know, but I focused on my writing. I got my book out there.
God bless.
I'm always, you know, promoting that, and it's something that it's funny. A lot of my fans, I never really spoke about this because the word ass is in there. I can't promote my book on Amazon. You know, I promote it in other ways, but I've never actually like paid money to promote it on these, you know, other accounts. I tried with TikTok, and I was surprised that even them with the word ass.
You should have put a picture of a donkey. There you go. That's one way around.
I got a lot of shit to add. You know, so at some point I'll do like an update, version 2.
Add a donkey, bro. That's it.
Right.
Get around it. Find us my donkey. They're gonna know what it means.
It's you know, but I definitely, you know, there's so many other things to do. Writing, this, you know, I do a lot of other different things with contracts, and you know, I was telling you offline what I was doing. You know, so it's a great thing, and you're gonna see, you're gonna go through some changes, and then there's things that you're not gonna forget. Because I have dreams about this shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No, I'll never. So, I mean, listen, I got 13 years of content. That's the reason why I started posting these videos with all the shit that I've seen. And I'm telling you, the messages I get on Instagram of guys hitting me up and giving me ideas for videos. Oh, Lord. They're like, yo, dude, can you do a video on this? Yo, can you do a video on this? I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm retired now. I got time. We'll fucking do it. Don't worry.
And you're gonna
so if you got any ideas for NYPD, send them my way. I promise I'll make a video.
Oh, we're gonna get that out there. and you're gonna get messages. People are gonna be thanking you. You probably already got some. Like, thank you for putting that out there.
Yes.
And that's what kept me going. I felt like even now, like I feel like I have to help out. I have 100%. To, you know, get that message out there. And you feel obligated. I'm in a chat on WhatsApp, and you know, I feel like these guys are my family now. Hundreds of people, and you know, we shoot the shit, and it's great. And you feel like that sense of responsibility and leadership, and that's what was really ultimately missing in my career was good leadership and morale, and you know, all that stuff, and you know,
having a sense of normalcy. That's the biggest problem.
Normalcy.
I agree.
You know. So without going too much into it, you finally seen enough, and you left.
Unfortunately, I had to. Unfortunately, that's the thing that sucks, you know. But you know, God got better plans for me. That's how I look at it.
You know, there is life outside of the badge. You know, and that's what's important. There's a guy. I don't think you had the chance to see it yet. An interview with a guy, Kevin Cruz. He was a young officer. He had all the potential in the world. He had knowledge in He was like an EMT. And he didn't want to do that assignment as a cop. He wanted to be out there and, you know, make an arrest, being active. But because he had this background, they didn't give him a choice. They put him in this unit, and he felt like, I don't want to be a social worker. I want to be a police officer. So it's just like sometimes your path is set before you, and he moved on. He said, you know what, I had enough. And he's doing other things, and he's he's enjoying his life.
I tell young guys all the time when they come into the department, like, I'm not gonna bullshit them. Like, when they come in, I'll tell them right to their face. I used to tell them all the time. I'm like, dude, I've been here for a long time. This is a very political space. If you don't like the politics, get the fuck out right now.
Yeah.
Get your year experience and go. Yeah. Don't stay in this department. Do not get sucked up. Because if you do, in 5 years, in 5 years, you're going to look back and you're going to remember my words. And you're going to say, oh my God, I should have fucking listened to Sarge. I should have just got the fuck out. I should have just left. You're going to hate your life. And my department had became a stepping stone department where we were getting young guys. They were getting a year on, transferring to another department. Because they started seeing the bullshit. And unfortunately, I tell guys all the time, I'm like, this might not be the job for you. You might not want to be a cop for another 20 years. Especially New Jersey, politics start getting worse and the laws are changing and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, why would anybody even want to be a cop nowadays? Why? Yeah. Why? The job blows. It sucks. Go be a firefighter, bro. Go do something else.
Right.
Not expected to live that long beyond our retirement, like, you know, because of what we endured while we were working. A lot happens within our bodies that we're not aware of. She did her own study. So she said to me, she goes that the people that leave at 20 live substantially longer than those that stay longer.
Question, with 20 to 25, whatever it is, you know, employees in your department, as far as like detectives and long-term investigations go, what about technology? Like, there was no facial recognition. There was
we had no facial recognition. We had a DB. Well, my first, I think, like 6 years, we had the sheriff's department taking all our detective cases. Like anything investigative, the sheriff's department handled it. We don't even have a dispatch. The sheriff's department dispatches for us.
Okay.
So you don't even know what your fucking dispatcher looks like.
Yeah.
We had no facial recognition. Then eventually we got a detective. Then he got promoted to like detective sergeant. Okay. Then they ended up putting up another detective and him with him because it's hard to do one case by yourself, like taking care of a whole town. So they ended up putting another detective in there with them. So we had 2 detectives, no facial recognition. We had no drones. We had none of that stuff. It was just a plain old Jane fucking police department, you know, with, I think we had like 2 shields at max that were like in cars, and we had no rifles. We just had a shotgun. We had a Benelli and we had our pistols. And that was it.
That makes sense though, because the sheriffs used to reach out to us, you know, on longer term investigations. I thought maybe I had helped you particularly.
Not me. No, definitely not me. My department was broke.
Right. So yeah, I mean that's tough, you know, for long-term investigations. You know, it's out of your hands, but it's kind of good because you kind of get rid of it, and it's like that's
100%. A lot of times, like by us, like if I had to take a case for like a sexual assault or whatever, a break-in, like something like that, I just call CSI. CSI comes, they do their thing. Call the detective. Hey, this is what I got. I'm gonna forward it to you. I'm gonna forward you my report. Okay, cool. Done. I do my incident report, forward it to the DB. They take care of it. That was it.
Yeah.
It was very simple.
And how was the whole arrest process? Was it like quick and easy? Or?
So we do everything A to Z. There's no central booking. There's no, hey, you go drop a guy. Like you ever watch Cops and stuff like I'm sure you have, where they just go drop them off in the county jail and then like they take care. No. I lock you up. I bring you in. Here's your Miranda form. Sign it. Initial it. Cool. Okay. Fingerprints. Where are you born? Fingerprint them. Put them back on the cuffs. Put them on the bench. Go up to the other desk up front. Start typing your complaints out. You type your charges. Once that's done, okay, here's a copy of your complaints, a summons, let's say, right? But if it was a warrant, all right, you got to call the prosecutor's office. Hey, I got this for a DV. Okay, put on a warrant. All right, cool. Type it up. Now you got to call your court clerk. Hey, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You got some drunk dude sitting in the back because he smacked the shit out of his wife. Hey, sorry to wake you up, court clerk, but I need you to approve this because you have to put to be determined. Then she would have to approve on her computer. Then she sends it back to you. You print it out. Guess what you got to do now? Because before you had to just give him his copy, put his evidence, put his stuff in the evidence bag, take him to county jail, drop him off. Not anymore. Now you had to, after you're done with the charges, you had to scan everything into a system, and it generates you a receipt. That receipt is what you had to bring with you to the jail. When you drop the guy off, They scan that receipt. They look the guy up. They make sure there's all the information there that they need on their end in the county.
Yeah.
And then once they say, okay, he's good. Now the nurse comes out. This cocksucker goes, oh yeah, my head hurts. Nurse goes, nope, hospital. Now you got to go to the hospital.
Oh, we know it's
that's how it was. That we did everything A to Z. But I always said the good thing was for a young guy, if he did come and he learned all that stuff, when he left our department and went to another department, he was such an asset because now he knew how to do everything with the arrests.
Yep.
He walks into a sheriff's department and it's like, I got it. Blah, 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 blah. He's typing up his complaints, summons, his charges, this, boom, boom, boom. And they're like, holy shit. How the fuck do you know how to do all this? Because we had sheriff guys that would come to our department sometimes, like our like some calls.
Right.
They've never done an accident report in their lives.
Wow.
So it was like a catch-22.
Yeah, I get it. How many hours did something like that take? Really? Every arrest? Wow.
So we're talking most of the time it's you and one guy. So if I'm the supervisor and I got one guy working with me, let's say we lock up a guy for a DV. And we're talking like restraining order, the whole nine. We're talking everything. Bring the guy in at 11. By the time you're done with your paperwork, you're done with calling the judge, recording the call, getting the restraining order approved, having the victim come in, sign the Vine forms, the whole nine, and then dropping the guy off at county jail, it's going to take you minimum 3.5, 4 hours.
Wow. Okay.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, in our department,
mind you, though, you're still just you and one guy. So if a call comes in, guess what? You're in there by yourself.
Right.
You're alone.
It's just you. Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, in our department, a lot of it has to do with sitting back and waiting for the court clerks and the ADAs and all this stuff and all the writers and all this stuff, writing up forms and affidavits and all this nonsense. So it's not in your control. You guys do that all yourself.
You have to do everything. Your affidavit of probable cause you have to type up. You have to type everything you have to do yourself. Everything.
Yeah, I used to make arrests talking 12, 13 hours, and most of it was just sitting there waiting for somebody else. You know?
I wish. You were lucky if you got one arrest for and then you're just done for the rest of it, because then you're so exhausted. You're like, bro, I'm not gonna go out and arrest somebody else again.
Yeah,
that's how it worked.
Yeah, it's crazy, unreal. So, but like you see, like you making all those arrests. Does it really ever?
It means Stugats. It means Stugats. Exactly. That's what it means. It means nothing.
Okay.
It means a sense to you as an officer, like you knew you did the right thing, like you knew you took somebody off the street, you tried, making your town safer, you tried making the world a better place. But did you really?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. I worked with somebody who did years of the detective squad. He was involved in a shooting, and he gets to my unit and he starts learning to do what I was doing. And over 20 years, he could have retired and this and that. And ultimately, he ended up getting promoted. And he was only the second person in the history of my unit to actually get promoted. And he was somebody that I was pushing for. Not that I had anything to do with it, unfortunately. No.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm glad somebody like that could get recognition over somebody that has no experience. Never been in the interview room, never been in the box, never done anything. Course. And people were mad about that. Like from what I was told, I was in the unit longer, bro. How could this happen? It's just
cops were our own worst enemies.
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave it off at that. We are our own worst enemies.
Yep.
We preach that the world hates us, and we preach that people hate us, and the public hates us, and the politicians hate us.
Yeah.
But inside those 4 fucking walls, we're our own worst enemies, and it starts from within. We cause the bullshit within, and it spreads out, and that's how you get shit cops.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because in retirement, I actually, I push, I try to make changes.
Yeah, of course.
I've been in touch with Perb. I've made this whole document, me and like 3 other people, and there's names on it, and there's things that we cited, and it actually leaked out to the internet because nothing's private anymore. Of course. And of course, I got credit for all of it, even though it was me and other people. But nevertheless, a lot of these you're trying to make changes, and ultimately that complaint got referred to another unit, and it's like, come on, man. But in that process, we did learn other things, and it's like now we're trying to tell active cops, like, this is what you have to do. You have to reach out to the union. You have to do this. You have to do that. And like you said, we're our own worst enemies. They want to cry about it. I know things have pushed back, and you're going to face retaliation and stuff. But if you want to make a change, you gotta have, you gotta dig in. You gotta be brave, and you gotta try to make the change. Because if you're going to just keep crying about it, you're going to be in the same situation. It's never going to get better. Either suck it up like I had to do, 20 years miserable. I kind of regret it. Maybe I should have left like you did. But if you're gonna do it, then you got to suck it up. If you want to make a change, you got to be brave. And that's something that's hard to deal with in retirement too, because I tried to push back and I tried to help people, and then you give them the help, and then they don't want it.
Always backfires. Always. They always forget.
Like I say, it's always like when you're a kid. There's going to be a fight after school. We're all going to punch this guy in the face. Mike Fury was always the guy to go. And a lot of people, they said they were going to do it. They never did.
Never showed up. Yeah, I get it.
And that's how being a police officer is sometimes.
It is. It really is.
I'm going to show a lot of your videos. Tell me a little bit about that, about making your videos.
A lot of experiences that I've seen myself, but also guys reaching out to me and telling me about their experiences and asking me to make these videos. I'm very quick-witted, so I'm almost quick on, these are not scripted. I don't write these scripts down. I literally just grab my phone, put it in front, put a background, hit the record button, and whatever comes to my head that I remembered, it's kind of, it's like PTSD almost, right? It's like you remember these things, and then I just say it off the top of the dome because things I've seen, things that other guys have told me, have experienced in their departments, and I'm like, I got you. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hit the record button, post. There you go. And for anybody watching this, if you're a fucking miserable boss and you're watching this, and that my videos hit home to you, and you're like, this isn't even funny, that's you that I'm talking about. It's you. I'm making that video about you. Go spend some time with your wife that she fucking hates you. Go spend some time with your kid at her fucking games or your son's basketball games, okay? Because when you retire, nobody's going to give a fuck. Some guys are going to give a fuck because they're going to say, hallelujah, thank the Lord, this guy's fucking gone. And other guys are going to be like, all right, who's next?
Yep.
Go spend some time with your fucking family. Get the fuck out when you can. You have one life to live. There's no redos. When God calls you home and he takes your life, guess what? Your career means fucking dick.
Yep.
So go spend time with your family because you have one life to live. No amount of money in the world should keep you working as a cop to be more miserable. That's all I gotta say. That's why I make these videos.
Awesome. Have you been in touch with any of the guys that used to, you were supervising?
Yeah. Some of the guys still reach out. I mean, I probably have, honestly, like 3 guys that probably reach out of the entire department.
They watch your videos?
They watch my videos. They fucking love it. They laugh their ass off. Man, guys are reposting it in my department. I'm like, yo, just be careful. I don't want the chief. I don't want the chief to come after you. I'm like, just be careful, But yeah, no, some of the guys I still talk to, but not many. Everybody else, it is what it is.
Please you got to be careful with reposting his videos, even in New York, because you never know. They love to go after the friends because they can't hurt guys like me and you anymore. So they like to go after the friends, and I could assure you that's
be very careful if you're going to repost my videos. Be very careful. A lot of guys have though. I'm telling you right now, a lot of NYPD guys have commented, reposted, and shared on their story, and I'm like. I'm like, please, God, just protect that person. Please do not let them get, attacked or anything. I'm like, please, man.
Yeah. Well, they could always pay somebody. Don't worry.
That'll be all right.
Is there anything else you want to let us know?
No, man. All I got to say is, again, if you're a cop watching this, man, all jokes aside, I really do pray that you have a safe and healthy career. I pray that you do your time and you get out. I pray that, God guides you always and steers you in the right direction, keeps you level-headed, because this job, man, our mental health is fucking shoots you down, So all I got to say is I wish the best for anybody that's watching this that's on the job still. And for the guys that are retired, fuck you. I'm not gonna say you did a great job and congratulations. It's the best thing I'm gonna tell you. You got the fuck out. It's the best thing I can tell you. But no, yeah, I appreciate the time, man. I hope my videos can continue to make people laugh, because cops need to laugh, the most in today's day and age. So, but yeah, I don't really got much else to say. Catch me on YouTube at Bolice12. Catch me on Instagram at BoliceZ, and catch me on TikTok at Bolice12. And that's it, man. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
The great John D. McCarry always asks his guests, and I'm a student of his wisdom.
Let me hear it.
Would you still do it if you could go back in time? Would you have been a cop?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Reason why I say yes is because I enjoyed the job, man. I did. I really did. I love to help people. The way my parents raised me, I always lend a hand. Don't expect one in return. And that's what being a cop was. Since I was a kid, my mom and dad always said, lend that hand out, don't expect one in return. So that transitioned very well with my personality when I became a cop, right? So I did enjoy it. The other part of me, I went the lazy route, I feel like sometimes, where, I was in school and I was like, damn, I could be a doctor.
Yeah.
I could be a lawyer. I could be, whatever, right? Like I felt like I didn't challenge myself enough to go to school and get a degree and all that stuff. I ended up getting an associate's degree, but that was it. I was like, oh, I'm a cop. I've been a cop since I was 19. So I'm 35 now. I'm like, damn, like I got my career at an early age, but then sometimes it's always like, I kind of wish I would have pushed myself and tested myself more to like go the harder route and go to school for a couple years. But then I'm like, you know what? God has everything written down for me. He has my life written down. So he had it in plan for me to be a cop. So would I go back? Yeah, I would go back.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. And you know what? You were meant to be a cop, and you were meant to be a supervisor. And I'm sure you definitely changed people's lives. And I'm sure from just from the few minutes talking to you here, I could tell you were somebody that I wish I worked for. Not everybody is as lucky to have good bosses. I had a few. But
you would have went home smiling every day. Like, I can't wait to go back to work with that guy tomorrow. I promise.
Oh, man. I went home crying every day.
You would have went home crying to laughter.
I used to go in listening to the Rocky music because I was like, what the fuck is going to happen today, man? What's going to happen today? But it's funny, man. And, your answer is great. I'm one of the few people, I watched the podcast still, and I'm one of the few people that says, you know what? I don't think I would have been a cop again because knowing what I know now, I could have helped people in other ways. There's so many. I love technology. I went to school for computers first, digital media arts, Photoshop expert, all that stuff. But I could have helped people. I should have stayed in school. I always used to say, school sucks. My son's running around saying, school's prison. I can't stand it. And I'm like, you got to be better. You got to, it's something you just got to do, unfortunately. And I took the easy way out, definitely. You were 19, man. That's young. I was 21, and I always boast about that because I'm like, damn, I'm 42. I've already been retired 15 months. Most people that hate me are well in their 50s. So it's like, that's a great thing. But man, listen, thank you. I appreciate your time. I'm glad to put you out there, and I'm glad.
I appreciate it, man.
I found not that I found you, believe me, you're out there. But I've spoken with a lot of people. Did you ever see the "What Murder" meme? What murder?
Oh yeah.
I found that guy. Like they haven't seen him in 20-something years. And me and him had an interview. He reaches out to me all the time.
That's hilarious.
And I always, like I said, as the guy Kevin Cruz, I make sure I interview people for a meaning, and in a way, maybe we were meant to meet. That's how I look at it.
God had this in plan. That's how I look at it. He knew we were going to talk, and this is why we're doing it.
Exactly. Well, thanks for coming.
Appreciate
this is us, Vendetta Blue Show with Islam here. And again, check out his content. BoliceZ. Bolice. What murder?
Bolice.
There we go, buddy. All right. Thanks again. I appreciate it,
man. Thanks for the time, brother. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon. Don't worry. There's gonna be more videos coming soon. I promise. If you have any ideas, shoot them to me. I got you.
Shoot them to him. Send us DMs.
Assholes, shut the fuck up. It's my first day as supervisor. So by law, that means I'm better than every single one of you. It's very simple. First order of business, Johnson, Rivera, 47th Street all day today. This is the NYPD. You understand? We don't believe in violent crime. The city's beautiful. You see somebody doing something wrong, I don't care. Somebody double parks, you better write it a ticket. I want 58 towed cars today. Fuck out of my face. Stop hooking up in the bathroom. I see it all the time. Next order of business, the mayor. Does he like us? Maybe. I don't know. But we can't be on his bad side or else we're gonna get fired. Well, you guys will. You guys will get laid off, not me. I'm a supervisor. Next order of business. I'm the boss. I have stripes here. That means you follow what I say. It's very simple, guys. Get the fuck out of my face, go patrol, make yourself fucking shown to the kids or something. I don't fucking know. Mike, get me another coffee. Hurry up.